When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company, like super woke.
When I grow up,
I want to be hired based on what I look like.
Rather than my skills.
I want to be judged
By my political beliefs.
I want to get promoted.
based on my chromosomes. When I grow up,
I want to be offended
By my coworkers.
and walk around the office
On eggshells.
and have my words policed.
By HR. Words like
Grandfather.
peanut gallery. Long time no see.
no can do.
When I grow up,
I want to be obsessed with emotional safety
And do workplace sensitivity training.
all day long. When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder.
just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist.
I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
Hey, Shalom, this is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. This whole society is forged on lies. Lies are lifted up as righteousness. Lies are lifted up as, hey, this is what's morally correct. Okay? I went into the term yesterday at camp, virtue signaling. All right? When you look up that definition, virtue signaling is someone trying to plead their cause that their way, or that they're morally upright. And Esau does that. He puts up this woke mentality, the liberalist, but it's two wings on the same bird. Okay? The two horns. You got the far right, the far left. All of it's going down, okay? The kingdom of heaven is going to be run by the children of Israel, man, starting with our big brother Yahweh Shai, then King David on down, okay? And righteousness will go out in that fashion. It's not going to happen on this side. But right now, the wicked arm rulership and wicked decrees are going out. A wicked standard is being lifted up. And I want to read Isaiah 10:1, and we're going to read it here in the GNT. All right, it says, you are doomed, all right? You make unjust laws that oppress my people. That is how you prevent the poor from having their rights and from getting justice. Every year, decrees, codes that are unconstitutional are passed to keep our people in a bind, to keep us at the bottom, to keep us from flourishing. Every year, record labels, media companies, television stations, social media companies forward more and more degeneracy to keep our people in a stupor, when righteousness could easily be promoted. Verse 2, that is how you prevent the poor from having their rights and getting justice. That is how you take property. Talk about child support. Talk about the family court system. Talk about how it's geared to the dismantling of the Israelite family unit, which leads to so much, again, degeneracy. That is how you take property that belongs to widows and orphans. What will you do when God punishes you? What will you do when he brings disaster on you from a distant country? And he's going to use Gog to do it. And many of the other nations, those who were at peace with you, talking about America, nations that were at peace with this place are going to turn and burn it. And the elites are done with this place anyway. These countries are simply corporations the elites use to forward their agenda. And, they're about done with America. All right? Prophecy's playing out. The least of the flock is drawing them out. Okay, the chief tribe of Amalek is getting into their squabble over there. And it's going to force America's hand. And it's not going to be beneficial to the other countries in NATO. It's going to be detrimental to them. So it's going to end up being, infighting. Now, 2/3 of our people, they've gotten caught up in this so-called standard, which is really darkness that this devil has held up. And it's caused them to be completely mixed up in the head, in the spirit. Completely perverted, I'd even say, in their perception of right and wrong. When you go to Romans, the 1st chapter, man, it talks about, people worshiping the creature more than the creator. And it's just It's a spirit and a vibration that the Lord gives people over to, okay, for their own wickedness. So 2/3 of our people, they actually are advocates for this vibration that this devil is pushing, which makes them, on this side, enemies of the body. All right, so this is Romans 1:22. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God and image made like to corruptible man. So the people, they tried to take the Most High and put him in this box as though he's faulted like an ordinary man, as though his judgment is skewed, as though we're on his level. In Isaiah 55, it tells you that we're not even close. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are his ways higher than our ways. But you have this man, this wicked man upon the earth, pushing this vibration and this notion that we don't need God. We can make our own water. That's me quoting Noah Harari, Carl Schwab's guy. They're speaking these great things as though they're setting themselves up to be the God for this people to worship. They're worshiping the creature more than the creator, okay? An image made like to corruptible man and to birds and the four-footed beasts and creeping things, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. So because our people want to, accept this as morally upright, as the standard of righteousness, they want to accept his way, the Lord will give them over to particular vibrations, including Moism. And that's a slang term that we use for the alphabet community, okay? To dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who change the truth of God into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the creator. There it is, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause God gave them up to vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So you got that argument out there with the alphabet people. I was born this way. No, the Lord will put a spirit on somebody who's wicked. He'll double use. Oh, you want to be wicked? Boom, I'll put this spirit on you just to seal the deal. And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Then it starts to list off all these characteristics that the people in this world begin to take on. And as you go through that list, surely this isn't the kind of person that you'd like to be around. But I'm going to jump to the bottom here. Verse 32, it says, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. They uplift those who partake in covenant breaking, who are disobedient to parents, proud and boasters, inventors of evil things, despiteful, backbiters, debaters, murder, maliciousness. They uplift these characteristics. In this mentality, this spirit is forced down the throats of the children 8 hours a day. How can you raise up a child in the way that they should go in this society? You'd be hard pressed to do it. Okay? So a lot of these, kids growing up, there's not a whole lot of hope for them unless they are of the elect. And you got to, Apostle Ramla mentioned this a while back. He said a lot of spirits are just being born back in the earth for the purpose of judgment. And that's true. The Lord's going to judge children too. Go to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. He lets you know that. All right, so this is Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. We'll start here at the 4th verse. Okay, and it reads, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city. Now the Lord is speaking to angels here in this chapter and delegating them different tasks. He had some angels at the top of this chapter who had destroying weapons in their hand. All right, let's just go to the top here. What happened? Yeah. Ezekiel 9:1. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with a destroying weapon in his hand. Destroying weapon, that's for judgment. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen with a writer's inkhorn. So this angel's job clearly is different. He doesn't have the slaughter weapon. He has an inkhorn. He has a pen by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar, and the glory of the God of Israel was going up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. So now we're about to find out exactly what his job was. This is verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people always, before it is a place. It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that saw. Was this the same mark in Revelation 13? No. You had some guys in purple try to spin this on the congregation a while back. But when you look up this word mark here, it's the word Dawah. All right. And it's a sign or a mark of exemption from judgment. So this is a completely different word than the word mark in Revelation 13:16, which is charagma. All right. Which is a badge or a sign or a stamp, embedded mark as a follower of the Antichrist. Okay. 2 different words. Okay. Upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. The elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to be sighing and crying the same way Lot was sighing and crying. He was vexed in Sodom and Gomorrah day to day, right? Same way. But let's jump to here. Let's continue on verse 5. It says, and to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Smite means to kill. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. And here's the point I wanted. Slay early, old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And that word mark there is what we went into earlier. So yeah, man, that commercial, it was meant to be sarcastic and to show the children, is this how we want our children to grow up? But this is how they're growing up. This is what they're being indoctrinated with. So the generations, if we're here another 10, 20 years, man, the generation coming up is going to be through, you know. But, you know, just a quick lesson. I saw that clip. I figured I'd share it with you guys and speak on it a bit. Abaratazah, you got something from the lesson? I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.